How many great things in the world were birthed from someone's pain? So every mom knows if you're going to birth a baby, you're going through some pain. You are
Yeah.
going through some pain.
Mhm.
And this was birthed, out of pain. So in 1997, I was bone on bone in both my knees. And I'll go ahead and share this now at this point, but we'll have some fun with it with the audience. Go ahead, guys. It's okay to judge a book by the cover. Everybody does it anyway. They say don't do it, but everybody does. So go ahead, take a look at me. Guess how old I am. Now, John, you met me in person. So you can just be honest. What was your guess when you met me in person?
My guess was either late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll be 65 years old. I'll be 65 years old in September. And so most people always guess me, way younger, than I am. And that's the power of cellular health. But in 1997, guys, I was only 37 years old and I was looking at two knee replacements. You know how many knees you have? Two. That sucks. And was like, are you kidding me? So they said, hey, you got no cartilage. There's no way you can regrow cartilage. It's medically impossible, blah, 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 blah. And plus I had hypertension. I had high blood pressure. I also had a 10-inch belly. Now for those of you other people from California that maybe have heard that men can get pregnant, it's not really true, but you can have a 10-inch belly, even if you're not a pregnant, you can have a 10-inch belly. So I had a 10-inch belly. And pain. When you have bone on bone in your knees, every step is like a knitting needle is getting stabbed into your knee. I mean, it brings tears to your eyes. When you see a set of steps, the eyes start watering up like this is going to hurt. That was my life. I was in that much pain. Now I was a very successful banker. I managed over a couple hundred bank branches at one time and, had a lot of great success in the financial realm. And so I spent a fortune trying to get healthy for 10 years. I tried all this stuff. So that's why I have so much empathy and compassion for people that have tried every diet, every supplement, every regimen, every exercise, every protocol. Man, that was me with both hands and both feet in the air. Yep, I tried all those, but nothing was sustainable. So in that frustration and in that pain, I don't claim to be a smart guy, John, but I am a gifted guy. I was born with a photographic memory. I could quote encyclopedias when I was 9 years old. I tested out of 12 years of college math in 45 minutes. That stuff doesn't mean you're smart. It just means God gave you a gift. So I went and started looking at all these medical peer-reviewed studies. What makes people healthy at the cellular level? Because to me, it was like what I call a BFO, blinding flash of the obvious. It's like, if we're just made out of cells, well, then how do you make your cells healthy? Because if your cells are healthy, that's the root, right? That's the root is the cell. If you can make the cell healthy, you will be healthy. Every organ is made out of cells. Your cartilage, your tissue, your bones, everything is made out of cells. So I'm doing all these reviews of all these scientific studies, which amazingly, people spent tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions on all these studies. And then what fascinated me was, and then they do nothing with it. They come to their conclusion. They spent 50 million or whatever it was on each study. They come to a conclusion, and then what do? Nothing. Well, I'm taking all these studies and realizing, well, wait a minute. Let me put these puzzle pieces together here. So I'm taking this study, that study, this study, that study, and I start putting the puzzle pieces together and realize, wait a minute, I got a little bit of a hydration revelation here. And the hydration revelation is, wait a minute, if I can learn how to take that cell from being hard as a glass marble, and I could turn that thing into a sponge, I think for me, my number one thing was regrow that cartilage. I was like, hey, man, I think I could save my knees, and I think I can reverse my hypertension, my high blood pressure. So then I sat down and just wrote up a simple protocol. It's like writing up a treasure map. I'm going to go from here to here to here to here to here. I believe if I take these steps, I'm going to transform my cell and get healthy. And by the way, and then for the next 11 years, so I don't want anyone to think I figured this out overnight. It took me 11 years. Even with my brain, it took 11 years to reverse engineer the science. Well, why did it regrow my cartilage? Why did it reverse my high blood pressure? Why did it reverse my brain fog? Why did my skin look 15 years younger? Why did my hair look better? Why did my vision? I don't even wear glasses. I'll be 65 years old. I have 20/20 vision. Why did I not end up needing readers? I had to reverse engineer the science of why did all these things happen. And then, and during this 11 years, I was helping, 2,000 people, by the way. So I had 2,000 scientific projects where all these things were happening in all these people. And this was all for free, by the way. So I was still in banking, but I was reverse engineering the science. I had all of these human people that were having a true transformation experience like I did. And then fast forward a little bit, it ended up becoming the calling of my life. So I left a big life. Chelsea left a big life, that she had. She built 2 super successful, businesses, walked away from those. I walked away from my big banking life because this was our real passion. Let's help people have what we have. Let's help people get healthy at the cellular level, transform their mind, their body, and their spirit with this breakthrough science.
That's amazing. I love that. I definitely agree with you. I feel like a lot of the gold nuggets that are found come from people's pain and things of that nature, and it seems to be a recurring theme that we've found as we've done this podcast. This episode actually marks episode number 50, and I'm really excited to have you guys here for that one. So it's a really cool mile
Hey,
marker. But
come on, John. Is it really episode 50?
yeah, on the dot.
Come
So,
on. Do you know what 50 means?
uh-uh.
Jubilee. 50 is the year of Jubilee in the Bible, and you got the Jubilees on the 50th episode. Come on, man. That's a divine appointment.
I love it. That's amazing. I actually didn't know that, but that's a really cool tidbit. I actually, real quick side note for all the listeners, I feel like God actually somehow orchestrated all of this to come together. And so to me, it doesn't shock me to hear that actually from you guys, because I'm like, well, he's the one that created this, not me. So I just landed here, and here we're doing this, and this is amazing. If you want to save time on watching all the episodes, but still get all the gold nuggets that we find from interviewing these 7, 8, and 9-figure entrepreneurs, then you can get all of that inside of the 2 Comma Club newsletter. Just go to 2ccnewsletter.com and subscribe.